Can you dig it, Coach Shay?
You're still in this metal mode with Crew and Poison. And
Right.
shout out to anyone that went to the concert the other night at Wrigley Field. Hope you guys enjoyed the show.
Hopefully Vince Neil was a little better than he was last one.
How's it going? And welcome back to Winning City Digits. I'm Carl. That's Vic. Thanks for tuning in for today's video. White Sox win today. White Sox get a win against the Detroit Tigers, winning 8-0. Let me just pull up the score here real quick. 8-0. Cueto was a rock star today. Was unbelievable. Went 8 innings, only 5 hits, 5 strikeouts, no walks. Absolute rock star today in the game, which was a much needed win, a much needed outing from the starters, because some of the starters, especially like Lucas, has been really struggling.
What a pickup Cueto has been, man. Well, he's been kind of a savior. He's got a 2.91 ERA.
Yeah.
Kind of reinvented himself.
If we haven't already, like, someone's got to think about signing that guy to an extension for at least 1 more year, if not 2 more years, for this rotation. I would sign him right now over Lucas Giolito right now. Lucas seems to be, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what he's lost, but he just seems to have lost that mojo on there. So look, the Sox needed it was a much needed win. Amazingly, we are only 5.5 games out of first place, with still some games in hand against Minnesota. Minnesota's tied right now as we're recording this against Texas 3-3. So
they're only one game back from second place. And what do they always talk about in baseball is get to that next team in front of you.
Yeah.
And they're pretty darn close to it. I mean, really, as a Sox fan, you gotta feel lucky where you're at. You are definitely frustrated because Twitter world out there, boy, they rip into Steve Stone. Steve Stone is hilarious, by the way. You guys got a great announcer there from the Cubs, you know.
Steve Stone, I think, is like Steve Stone has watched a lot of baseball in his lifetime, right? And if there's one thing about not only White Sox fans but Chicago fans, we're emotional. And when it comes to our favorite team, like, we don't hold back in what we're thinking in that particular moment. And I know there's been saw a thing on Twitter this morning how a Fire Tony sign made it to the broadcast last night. But I think Steve's right. Like he's kind of the voice of reason, right? He's the guy that's seen a lot of baseball. He sees the schedule ahead. He sees the potential on this team, and he sees the rest of the division. Minnesota's coming back to earth. Cleveland is showing who they really are. And I think the division is still for us for the taking.
I agree with you. I think Sox fans need to calm down a little bit at the moment. This is kind of what a Sox fan reminds me of right now. Like, just rolling around, like, I don't know how to deal with this.
I swear to God, you come up with the weirdest stuff for our channel.
This is what Sox fans are doing right now. I'm like, calm down. That's all what Steve Stone is saying. It's calm down. Because
honestly,
they're only 5.5 games out.
Look, it's more of a roller coaster ride more than anything else. Now, I don't know how any of you else are out there that watch our videos. And Vic, I don't know if you're like this, but I'm like, when it comes to my teams, like the White Sox, the Bulls, Bears, if they lose that particular day, I don't want to watch any highlights. I don't want to watch Sports Center. I don't want to see anything on Twitter. I don't want to see anything about that team for like 24 hours. But if they win, I want to watch every single highlight I can.
Yeah, you are not a fair weather fan. You always look at your teams usually with like rose-colored glasses, man. You don't really. You're pretty good about being not being a guy
a homer.
That would jump on the yes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Look at
this. Look at your team.
Yeah.
See it? So as much as people are saying that the Sox can't hit, they're hitting. They've improved from like 5th to the bottom to 5th to the top. So their bats are alive. They're just not timely hitting.
Are you crazy?
What do you mean, am I crazy?
Look at the other three stats that you just put up there on the screen.
They're not timely hitting. 5th in average?
Okay. 5th in average means squat.
No, you can win by small ball. Yes. You can win if they're actually getting people on base, man. I wonder what their on base percentage is. That doesn't. Yeah, there's plenty of teams that don't score with home runs.
We're not one of those teams, obviously.
That's what I'm saying, man. But they do hit. It's not like they're not hitting the ball. They're just not getting the ball out of the ballpark, and they're not timely hitting.
Look, as a White Sox fan, I understand like we play our home park is conducive to the home run. We give up a ton of home runs in that park. We need to hit a ton of home runs to win. And that was proven the last couple nights, right? The last 2 nights, last night we only hit 1 home run. The night before we didn't even hit one. Basically got blanked, right? But we need to hit the long ball in order to win games. Bottom line.
You need timely hitting.
Everybody.
You need timely hitting, man.
Everybody needs timely hitting.
Exactly. So if they had better timely hitting, they would be winning more games. It doesn't actually have to be a home run.
Here's one other thing that I wanted to share with everyone real quick. I did put a poll up on our YouTube. If you haven't had a chance yet to vote for this, please do. You can find it on our channel page. But here's the poll that I put up a couple hours ago at the time of this recording. If the White Sox were to fire Tony La Russa and put him in for manager, would it make a difference? 60% of you say yes, we could make the playoffs and establish a season. 40% of you say no, this is on the players and they need to be better. You, Vic, as a Cubs fan, what do you think about that?
I believe from looking at the outside, I think the Sox team is trying their best. They've had a lot of injuries. I don't think it's necessarily on the coach. I mean, could he be performing better? Yes. But I don't know if I'm not really sure if that would turn the season around.
I do think a lot of the decisions that Tony, well, I shouldn't say a lot. There have been quite a few decisions that Tony has made throughout the year that have been questionable, right? Like walking a guy when the count is 1-2, to load the bases, and the next guy, or to put a guy on base, and then the next guy hits a 3-1 home run, right?
That was like Joe Madden of walking someone in with the bases loaded.
And Sox fans who watched the game the other night on Friday night, to anyone who watched the game on Friday night, game's tied 1-1 in the 9th. He brings in Tanner Banks, left-hander, into the game. No disrespect to Tanner Banks, right? But that's a situation you got to bring Liam in, and you got to hold him at 1. Just it's pretty much a safe situation. You hold them at 1. We were down 1-0 at that point. You hold them at 1. At least we scored the run. We're tied. But because he didn't put in Liam, he put in Tanner Banks. We gave up the run. They got the insurance run, and sure enough, they won 2-1. So it's little decisions like that.
Yeah, I think coaches generally they might be able to give you like a +5, like really good coaches in your overall win percentage from what I remember. I don't know if that's accurate.
Oh, I would say this year, and I don't know what you guys think out there, but I think that Tony probably has been a -5.
That's what I'm saying. But in terms of like a good coach, I don't know how it's generally the players that win the games. I mean, some of those close games, I'm sure coaches could ruin for you, but I don't think it's a huge percentage of wins for coaches.
But anyone who's ever been a coach knows that your job as a coach is to put your players in a position to be successful and to win.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's your job, right? But I think he's kind of mishandled the bullpen a little bit this year and not pulled starters at the right time, pulling them too early or pulling them too late. I don't know.
So you're on the fire Tony wagon.
Honestly, I'm a little bit of both. Like, I think that it could make a difference, but I also think part of this is on the players. Like, if you fire Tony and put in an interim manager and the players are still playing the same way they were the first half of the season, then no one's going to make any difference. It's still on the players, right? But
hiring another manager is not going to make them hit more home runs. I mean,
no,
or their injury. I mean, that's where I find it hard to do with Tony right now, is with the amount of injuries they had.
Look at it this way. It's not so much if they're going to hit more home runs or anything like that. But if Tony didn't lose you 5 games and you win those 5 games,
you could be 2 games out.
We're in first place.
Maybe.
Or we're only a game out.
It's definitely closer if that indeed would pan out. Yeah.
Correct.
You are right, man.
And we would like to hear what you guys think about the White Sox and where they are right now. Do you guys think they might be able to make a run at this before the All-Star break? Hopefully get back within, let's say, less than 4 or 5 games in first place.
Most people say no.
Well, let's see what you guys have to say in the comments below. I say yes. I think they can make a run at it, but
I think
we'll see what happens
too.
over the next couple of weeks. Thanks for tuning in and watching the videos. We do appreciate it. Hit the like, subscribe, bell whenever you get a chance. It really helps us out. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Love.
And digits.